Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in for a second and let you know a little bit about today's live stream sponsor, DNA Funded. DNA Funded has very generous profit sharing up to 90% and 3 different unique challenge types. For those looking to get funded, they also have speedy payouts, unlimited trading days on the first and second phase of their challenges, a very wide list of different things you can trade with over 800 different assets tradable, and maybe the most important component, a very experienced team behind the whole operation. So if you're interested in learning more about DNA Funded, click the link, check it out, see if it's right for you, and make sure to do your own due diligence to see if what they have to offer fits your trading style. For 20% off, you can use code A1T20. Again, that will be 20% off any of their challenges you'd like to check out. Thank you again to DNA Funded for sponsoring today's live stream. Now back to the show.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. Hope you're all well. I know the question will come. No, I'm not Trader Nick. I don't think he's around today. So I am going to be covering NFP with you beautiful people today. I hope that's okay. If it's not, I can't really do much about that. So you've got no choice. So let's just have a quick rundown of what we have got going on today. We have got average hourly earnings month on month, average hourly earnings year on year, labor force participation rate, NFP, so non-farm payrolls. We have got unemployment rate, and we have also got manufacturing PMI coming out slightly later. So first of all, I want guesses or predictions, should we say. We don't guess in trading, we'll do predictions. So what is your prediction for NFP? Drop some numbers in the chat, because I am going to say, what should we say? What's a good ground? ADP did quite well. Jolts didn't do so hot. I'm going to help you out here. Let's have a quick look at the US economy overall. I'll get to the China second. I've not seen what you guys are saying yet. Hopefully you're not being mean. So far, the US economy is looking pretty hot here with a score of 61.5 or 62 if you're rounding up. So what we've got, GDP is doing very well, actually coming out at 3. Previous was negative 0.5. Yeah, big increase there. Wage growth has come down. Unemployment rate ticked down. Jolts, as I said, had a little bit of a tick down, so not great. ADP, however, did do very well. So it depends whether you are happy to say ADP is an indicator of NFP. I don't think it is. It's not been. If actually, I get my words. Hold on. Let me slow down. In actuality, ADP is actually a pretty good counter argument towards NFP. So if we take a quick look at, where is it? Here. So if we look at ADP over the past couple of releases, so we've missed ADP here. So obviously the red dot here is where analysts forecasted it. So if you looked on MyFX book or Forex Factory, whatever it is, any news calendar, the red dot is the forecast you see. So you can see ADP has been missing forecasts and coming to the downside. Only the previous release was actually pretty hot. Whereas if we look at NFP, it's done the opposite. So NFP has actually been overshooting forecast, whilst, yes, cooling down a little bit, except the previous release. So again, I leave it in your hands. Do you think ADP is a good signal for NFP? I don't think so. So yeah, what is your predictions? Quiet Menace X, strong beat 25k. We will see. So I put a video out yesterday on my channel. I basically said I don't have any reason to be a bear on the dollar. I think the dollar has more than enough reasons to continue higher. However, it looks like it's due for a little bit of a slowdown. My computer's really slow. Hold on. Let me just see if I can close anything down here. Speed up. I don't know if it's lagging for you guys. Probably not a good idea to close TradingView. Let me just close down some programs here. Just bear with me for a second. There's not much going on. Okay. So yes, while I can't sit here and say the dollar's bearish, I can say, what is going on here? Sorry, guys, just bear with me. I don't know what's going on. Computer's moving like it's a potato. If we do get a weak NFP, we get high unemployment, we get weak hourly earnings, it wouldn't be a shock to me if the dollar decides to double bottom around here, let's say 97.5 to 98. and then starts creeping higher again. So far, I'm quite happy to say that there is no rate cut in September. Of course, it remains data dependent on how today's news comes, how inflation develops as well. But from what Powell said yesterday, doesn't leave me much, much of a view to say that there is likelihood of a rate cut, because Powell essentially said that inflation remains elevated, the economy is strong, the tariff impacts, they still are completely unsure. So yeah, there was no signal there, in my opinion, that there's a rate cut on the way. Bashi, hello, good to see you. Lee thinks 110, so Lee's pretty much on forecast. Bashi 4.2, 4.1 for unemployment. Yeah, unemployment's been hovering around that sort of area. So let's also take a quick look. We've got just under 10 minutes until our hourly earnings, NFP, and unemployment all drop at the same time. So let's just do a quick review here. So here, oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. Unemployment rate hovering. In fact, it's not moved for 3 months straight. But even so, since, let's say here, since July last year, so almost 12 months, we've had what we would call a consolidation on unemployment. It's 4.2, 4.25, 4.2, 4.1, 4.1, 4.2. There's no trend, if you will. There's no trend in unemployment. So it does signal relative, it does signal stability within unemployment, at least. NFP did do very well last release. So again, I'm pretty optimistic, but I have no bias really this time around. On the last release, I was expecting it to come out higher because the data was just overwhelming for the dollar at that period. So it just made sense at the time. But yeah, this time, not really any hard idea, to be quite honest with you. Ball-out's been sectioned. What do you mean by sectioned? James, do you think rate cuts will be on the table again? Nah, I don't think so. I'm really sorry. My laptop is just not handling today. It's quite a humid day, so it just seems to be very, very slow. So I know my camera's a bit laggy and the chart might be a bit slow. There's nothing I can do, unfortunately. What's my view on pound yen? We'll take a look at some charts afterwards. Let's just deal with the news first, and then we can go over some potential watch lists and ideas there. OT thinks 115K for NFP. Babu thinks 121K. Tahaba, I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. You're expecting weak dollar, so in that way you would want a higher unemployment and a low NFP. Bro, should we buy? King, I don't know. You can't hear me. Audio? What do you mean you can't hear me? I'm only seeing you say that, OT. The mic is okay. And Bashi says it's okay. Have you fat fingered your mute button or something? I try not to predict numbers. You just need a rough idea of whether it's going to be better or worse. Yeah, CJF, I completely agree. I don't think you need to have a hard idea. We're not analysts. We're not here to build economic models. But as you said, I think it's a good idea to have a rough idea. Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? Oh, here we go. We've got the guys, the ones that say buy gold, sell gold, and then as soon as news comes out, they're never seen again. Guys, don't listen to these people in the chat telling you to buy and sell gold. They have absolutely no idea, just like I have absolutely no idea. No one has any idea. So please do not start placing trades based on what some random person in the chat is telling you to do, because 9 out of 10 times it will be wrong. Even if they get the direction right, they might just get whipped out on the initial release. And that's not hate. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, that's the way the market moves. So we got 5 minutes until we've got the big news. It's the biggest news of the week. The markets have been very, very slow and choppy, really, into I'd say from sort of Wednesday, really. OT gold sell. I'll tell you what, OT, go full margin gold sell. If it works out, feel free to send me a little donation. If it doesn't, it's all on you, my friend. Nothing to do with me. So let's just take a quick look at the top setups before we start preparing for news. So we've got NASDAQ bullish. Again, I will go over some watch lists and some trade ideas after NFP. I just want to get this out of the way first. Then we can put the markets into a bit more context. So NASDAQ, dollar ZAR, Euro Pound, dollar CAD, Russell, oil. I know Nick's in the oil long. I saw, I don't know if it's Instagram. I can't remember where I saw it. Anyway, Nick's oil position looks very, very good, or did at the time. I'm not sure how it's looking now. Dow, Nikkei, and DAX are all very bullish. We've got the pound that is just sinking on the edge finder here. We've got pound New Zealand, pound CAD, pound yen, pound Swiss, and pound dollar, all bearish readings. Aussie dollar mixed, Aussie dollar, US dollar mixed in there as well. So yeah, actually pretty clear readings. I'm liking it. It's a very clear sort of bias on the edge finder right now. Buy the indices, sell the pound, buy the dollar. Pretty straightforward. But again, that could change within the next 3.5 minutes. Ow. It's one of the downsides of having big teeth. Always knocks them when I'm taking a drink. Do you think gold will go down further? Okay. So let me go over the basics of this news for you guys. So the majority of you will already have a full, complete understanding of this, but for those of you that don't, essentially, if you are wanting dollar strength, so if you're wanting gold to go down, or you're expecting gold to go down, you would want NFP to be, you'd want NFP to be higher, and you'd want unemployment to come down. You'd also want average hourly earnings to increase as well. So that would signal a strong labor market. So obviously, less people are becoming unemployed. We've got more jobs out there, and we've got higher wages. That's good. But then if you're a dollar bear, so if you're wanting gold to start heading up, you'd want the opposite. So you want low NFP, you want high unemployment, and you want low average hourly earnings. Okay, so that's pretty much as simple as it is. Obviously, there's a lot of details that can go into those things, but that's the case in point. Shells, hello, good to see you. Full margin buy gold. Oh dear me. What criteria do I use for daily time frame? Very basic: support, resistance, and sort of 50% pullbacks, really. Nothing complicated. Sean says no sell gold. And then we're getting a buy or sell gold. Oh, you guys are funny. Oh, copper. I was watching the trade battle yesterday. I'm aware of news. It's just a minute or so away. Don't worry, I'm not going to forget. I was watching a trade battle. I think it was Chris Pulver and I've forgotten his name. I hate to say. But yeah, Nick hosted that. And halfway through or towards the start, they were like, oh, have you seen copper? I was like, oh, I haven't seen copper. It just took a massive dump. At the time, I had no idea why. The market moved before I saw any headlines come out. And then it was obviously tariff related. Of course it is. What else is moving the markets these days other than tariffs? So I don't trade copper. I'm not really a copper guy. But if you've got a reason to be long copper, it might be a place where you could start picking some up at a relatively cheap price. Just missed the $6 mark, which is a bit unfortunate for the copper bulls. We've got 1 minute now until the news, so hold on to your hats, put your seatbelts on, place your stop losses, move your stop losses to break even, close your trades, do whatever it is you need to do, because there's a high percentage chance that NFP or today's news is going to be a big market mover. It could not be. It could be completely flat and uninteresting, but I doubt it. I'll put the countdown here for you so you can see. Yeah, there. So 30 seconds. I'm still, after what I said, I'm still seeing people say buy and sell gold. It's crazy. Michael, watch out for sniper entry to poverty. Yeah, guys, it's all fun in games. It's fun to laugh about, but seriously, if you treat the markets like a casino, then you will end up losing, just like you would at a casino. Okay, it's releasing. Labor force participation came down. Average hourly earnings stayed on target. U6 unemployment rates ticked up. Non-farm payrolls, really bad here, 73K. So it decreased by 1.06%. So previous was 14, forecast was 110, and it came out at 73. Average hourly earnings, unemployment rate stayed the same at 4.2. Okay, so now we have a bit more context. Dollar is down. Now, why is the dollar down? Well, it's because we had poor NFP, and we don't really have anything else to rely on. So unemployment rate, or U6 unemployment rate, ticked up. Actually, sorry, I should put an arrow up there. So that's a pressure on the dollar. So what we've seen from this news is a slightly weaker labor market. I'm saying slightly because overall it's still stable, so I'm not going to say it's deteriorating, but the labor market data we've just had isn't great. Unemployment stayed the same at 4.2, so there's no optimism around that. We don't have a reason really to buy the dollar from that. Also, to the guys that were saying buy silver or buy gold, or whatever you're saying, I hope that worked out well for you, telling everyone else to try and buy gold. So I hope you're enjoying your profits from that one. Obviously, sarcasm. So let's just have a quick look at the gold reaction. Let's go down to 15. Obviously, gold is up. So all dollar crosses will be up. So when I say dollar crosses, I'm talking XXX/USD will be up. So pound dollar, euro dollar, gold will all be up on a weaker dollar. So what does this mean? In my opinion, not much, I'll be honest. This doesn't sway my idea just yet that we are going to see a rate cut in September. Gold still flying here. So initial reaction here from gold, we have had a total move of 0.5%, so 0.5% move here on gold from low to high. Did anyone hold through NFP? Did anyone make some money? I'm sure many of you lost money, so I'm not even going to ask that question. Whoever gambles living life. OT, it really depends. You're buying Bugatti now. Congratulations. Cadian sell. Oh God, Sean, don't join in. Been in gold buy since 3301. Lovely stuff. Good. It seems like we've got some smart people in the chat. Seems like a lot of you did quite well on that, so that's good. As long as no one lost money or blue accounts, then we can breathe, we can sit, and we can enjoy this Friday morning or afternoon, wherever you are. It's Friday afternoon for me, so almost time to clock out for the weekend. I'm calling it today. After the stream, I'm going to go and bake a cheesecake with my girlfriend, so that will be nice. Okay, so news is done. Is there any questions that you want me to clarify about what just happened, or what the news means, or anything like that? Or shall we move on to some chart analysis? I will leave that up to you. I'm happy with whatever. J Trades, thank you very much. You too, my friend. Moved SL with the quickness. Yeah, I don't blame you. Cool. Yeah, so gold bulls are happy today. Dollar bears are also very wait, hold on. Did I say gold bears or dollar bears? I'm not sure what I just said. Either way, gold bears happy, dollar bulls unhappy. So there we go. OVO, US swing trader. Yeah, I am. I suppose you would define me as a swing trader, but I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of not swing trading that much anymore. I've actually moved more into just scalping sessions, which is completely opposite to what I have done for the past 7 years. However, with it's just, I don't know, I'm loving it. I'm really, really enjoying actually trading small time frames. Which if you said if you told me I would be saying that 6 months ago, I would have laughed at you, because that's really out of character for me. But yeah, I've made a couple of videos on it on my channel. So if anyone's interested on my journey with that, feel free to check it out. Why Lambo? Why not private jet? Because, Shells, we care about the trees. We don't want private jets. We'll kill the trees. Might get a venti. Still looking for longs on DXY. Yeah, so what I was thinking on the dollar is sort of a double bottom around this area. So towards 97, 98. I think that would be sort of the perfect situation, actually. So although we had slightly weaker data today, I'm still optimistic on the dollar, and I'm definitely not going to sit here saying that I am looking to sell. So I'm happy to start buying dollars if it comes down to, yeah, let's say 98, just to keep it simple. If we can, if we can buy dollar at 98, so I would obviously be selling euro dollar or pound dollar. I think pound dollar is probably the ideal choice because obviously it's bearish reading on the edge finder anyway, and the fundamentals behind the pound are very weak. So pound just, it seems like it's the ideal candidate to just get sold right now. If we could get into something like that, I would be happy to take the dollar or attempt to take the dollar up towards 105. I think that's the next major level really for the dollar in terms of psychological levels and not really technical levels, but 105 is a nice number, isn't it? How would you trade gold after this news? Kennedy, I would not trade gold after this news. I would be, if I was watching this stream right now, I would be hitting the subscribe button for Nick, and I would be dropping a like as well, and I'd be relaxing. In fact, I'm going to relax. You know, what's the need? It's a Friday, obviously, Friday morning, Friday afternoon. Why do we need to start placing trades now? You can look at it either way. You could be a seller here and try and fade this move. That's not going to work if you either got low capital or you are very emotional, because I would not advise doing that for the average trader. Or you could say, okay, well, I want to buy because it's moved up. Well, you've missed the move. So what is there for you to do now? There isn't anything. And this is just my perspective. You might have your own strategy, but from that question, I'm going to assume that you're not really in that situation. So just chill. Khaled, rate cuts? Nah, I'm not ready to say that we're going to see rate cuts. Remember, Bank of America are still on their very, very, how would I say that? They're still very confident in their idea that we're not going to have a rate cut this year. Guys, what happened to Amazon? Pre-market's down 8%. Let me see if I can find it for you. I don't do stocks, so it might take me a second to figure out. Just bear with me for a sec. Has there been earnings? Has something happened? I don't know. Nope, no idea. Sorry. Am I still bullish on dollar? Yes, I am. It's only 8:40. New York opens at 8:30. Might see a reversal. Maybe. I'm not sure though. Waller is right. U6 ticked up. Yeah, but Waller's been calling for a rate cut for a while. I don't care what Waller says. Oh, last number was revised to 14K. Yeah, actually, hold on. Let's do another quick check. I'm not sure if the Edge Finder will have updated yet. Hold on, let me see. No, the Edge Finder hasn't updated yet. So we'll do an Edge Finder review on the dollar shortly, once it's got the most recent data in. Which is best Lambo, guys? I don't know, the cheapest one. I have a problem with spreads because I'm a Forex scalper. What should I do? Get a raw account. It's the only thing you can do. Or you could approach your broker. If you're trading with enough size, normally your broker will make accommodations for you, depending on exactly what it is you want. Waller wants to replace Powell. Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I don't care what he says. I think there's a lot of cheek licking going on right now because Trump is having a little tantrum. He's not getting his way. He's this rich guy that always gets what he wants, and Powell will not give it to him. So he's having a hissy fit. So now we've got all the yes men lining up to take Powell's job because they want to, take Powell's job. So they're kissing some booty cheeks for Trump. So yeah, right now I've got very, very little interest on what anyone is saying apart from what I think when it comes to smart money and the Fed and the White House, because it's like watching a high school drama play out. PMI, very true. We do have more news coming, actually. I completely forgot about that. Let me pull this back up so I can see. We don't have any more news for the next 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we do have time to just, just chill for an hour. Yeah, that is really funny, actually. I didn't even notice that we had the revision down. Yeah, that is a good spot, Khaled. Yeah, that's that. It's going to be an issue, I think, actually. So NFP, where is NFP here? Yeah, it was. For it to get revised from 147K down to, what was it, 14? That's crazy. That's not good, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to rethink my dollar idea now. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm not really that bothered in the short term. Missed what happened? Chris, you missed one of the biggest news events in the market called NFP and unemployment. NFP was pretty bad. I am just waiting for the Edge Finder to collect the new data, and then I'll economic heat map. Looks like August 2024 again. Yeah, the revision wasn't great, Max. Yeah, I completely missed the revision. I don't know how. I think I even said 14K. I just didn't, it just didn't click. I got funded this week and lost my account this week. Oh, scalper Steve, hate to see it. Hate to see it. It's one of this. That's the way. I know exactly where you're coming from. I got funded once. I had one funded account, and I passed phase 1 and 2 very, very quickly, and then got funded. And then tried to do the same thing again to get the payout, and it disappeared within like 2 hours. I also had one with my Forex funds, and they disappeared as well. So I've not got a great experience with prop firms, to be quite honest with you. So don't feel bad. It happens to everyone. Well, happened to me at least. Wait, hold on. Why is everyone congratulating Bashi? I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, so I'll refresh the Edge Finder. Just bear with me. Let's collect some thoughts. Khaled, the markets were also saying rate cuts and recession, blah, 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 all year, de-dollarization, and they were wrong. So again, I've got very little interest in the current perception. I built a very, very strong thesis on the dollar, and it's not broken yet. Have we had the updates? We have not had the new NFP, which is okay. So we can wait again. Caught 30R. 30% on NFP is crazy. J-Trade caught 31%. Yeah, Hood. Yeah, I did see that 14K. Yeah, it's crazy. How's it possible to mess up that bad? I'm going to be honest. I don't think it is. I'm not into conspiracy theories and market manipulation and all that sort of ideology, but that does seem fishy. I'll be perfectly honest. Excuse me. So now of NFP, unemployment bearish, gold news. Are we still bullish on dollar? I'm personally bullish on dollar long term. So when I say bullish dollar, it doesn't mean I'm buying it right now. It means I would like to see it come down to around 97, 98, and then I'm going to try to be a buyer. Yes. So I've still got room for more downside in the short term. So now with NFP and unemployment bearish for gold, they're not bearish for gold. Yes, they were bearish for the dollar, so bullish for gold. Okay, so we've got someone's word that we're going to see a reversal at 3344. Wait, 3344. Okay, so I assume that's Ali Music says, you have my word, it will reverse from this level. So guys, let's see. Is he a man of his word? Can he forecast the markets like no one else? Funniest candle I've ever seen. Yeah. It's looking a bit like a meme coin right now. Gold has to come down for sure soon enough. Fill that gap and liquidity all down there. Wait, what gap? gold will come down. Normally, these types of news moves do normally have a correction, but the problem is with that type of thinking, it's very easy to get chopped up. So you, for example, could have sold on this candle close, saying, "Oh, it's going to correct," and you could be right, but there's nothing stopping this market going higher. And then you could do the same thing again and again and again, and eventually you might be right. But how many losses are you going to take in that process? Unless you're, again, sort of doing a dollar cost average approach, which most people don't do. What site did I read the news from? This one is called Market. One of my friends owns this one. So I'm very fortunate, actually. I'm friends with the A1 guys that all have a great product, and also the Market guys as well. James, how you use the Edge Finder? I use the Edge Finder in a very, very simple way. So what I do is I do all of my research on a Sunday. So by Thursday to Friday, I'm kind of done, because a lot of my research is outdated by then. New news is developed and Edge Finder's changed and things. So sort of Thursday and Friday is when I start sitting out and sort of, relaxing a bit more. So I do all the research on Sunday. I'll sit down. I'll say, okay, what's going on here? What are the top readings? What are the worst readings? Blah, blah, blah. So for example, let's say here, pound dollar. Okay, very bearish. I don't like the pound anyway. I'm a bit of a doomer on the UK. So then I'll go and I'll say, okay, well, let me have a look at the individual economies. I'll go and look at the UK. I'll look at the US. Okay, these are the current numbers. Then what's the trend of these numbers? What's the central bank policy? What's their current rates? What's the real rate? What's the inflation? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll just figure out, okay, this economy is garbage. This one's pretty good. So I might want to buy or sell or do whatever. And then on Monday, I'll confirm that I'll confirm that when we get the updated COT data from Friday. So that's it in a nutshell. And then throughout the week, I'll just keep tabs on positions with the Edge Finder. I generally don't really care what price is doing too much. So if, let's say I'm already short pound dollar, it's still very bearish. That tells me I actually might want to scale into the position and maybe add a bit more on, rather than start looking to close. So if it flips now from very bearish to neutral or even bullish, okay, yeah, maybe I want to get out of that position. Can anyone in the chat actually define liquidity? Yes, liquidity is every single tick. Every single move you see in the market is liquidity. Liquidity is just capital in and out. It's just people allocating money. So yeah, I don't really like the whole liquidity idea of like, oh, it's targeting a liquidity zone or whatever. I don't like it, but I have seen examples where, yes, you can, even if the description is what I don't agree with, I can understand why people say that. Do you know what I mean? But the reason I don't believe in that whole liquidity grab, liquidity pool, whatever it may be, whatever it's actually called these days, is who is it? Who do you think is moving the market to resistance to take out your stops? Because everyone in this chat should be aware that there isn't a singular algorithm hunting stop losses. Hopefully you're a bit more mature than that. So if we've ruled out it's not an algorithm, then who is it? Is it JP Morgan? Is it Goldman Sachs? Is it Citibank? Is it ING? Who is it? So do you see what I'm saying? So I don't like it, because I like to trade on evidence and data. I have absolutely no evidence or data to suggest that people are grabbing my stop losses. But again, I can understand the sort of theory behind it. Anyway, I understand we've not actually looked at any charts apart from gold, so I will get there. I'm just trying to cover the chat, also make sure I'm not missing anything on gold or whatever. I'm also paying attention to this level that Ali Music mentioned, because so far he's been pretty spot on. Now he's claiming to be Jim Simmons. Yeah, that's another thing off the main. FX is way too big to move to move euro dollar, for example, or even NASDAQ. They are multi-billion-dollar markets on a daily basis. the amount of money it would take to just move it to a resistance or just move it to a support purely to take out retail positions is ridiculous. But then you would make the argument, it costs that much money to do. Why would they then need retail money to do that? Because yes, in the grand scheme of it, it might sound like there's a lot of money there, but there's not. Do you think every retail trader has the same trade at the same time, with the same stop loss on the same asset? No, of course not. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant because I feel quite passionately about that topic. But again, I'm not trying to shame anyone that does think like that. I'm just trying to explain my point of view there. Anyway, let's move on. If you had 10 million, you'd move the markets prop by 20 pips. No, not even close. No, 10 million is not even nearly enough to move 20 pips. Well, actually, it depends what market. If it's an illiquid asset, like a penny stock, yes, you would move massive amounts. But it's something like gold, NASDAQ, the S&P, euro dollar, not even close. Again, it's a multi-billion-dollar market. So 10 million is like a drop in the water. Scalper Steve, spot on, my friend. We are like, what's those things? We're like, those fish in the sea that go inside like sharks' mouths and they'll eat like the bits of food that's stuck in teeth and stuff, and they'll clean the fish. That's what we are. We're just jumping out. We're just following the bandwagon of these big boys. Take what we can. We eat their scraps, or we try to eat them at least, and then we go. That's the best way I can explain it. Do I edge myself while trading? That is a very interesting question. Maybe I do. It's not your business. Yeah, Ali for music. So far, a very good call. Lee says it takes $1 billion to be exchanged for a candle to form. There you go. So in that idea, let's say, should we do a bit of maths? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me just check the Edge Finder again. I feel like I'm really going off topic. Let's just see if we've got the update yet for NFP. Let me have a quick refresh. Jay, I know what he meant. I know he meant hedging. But that was a little bit more funny, wasn't it? But no, I don't hedge. Well, very rarely I will hedge. It's very, very, very unlikely, or unlike me to hedge. We don't have the NFP reading on the Edge Finder yet, which is completely fine. I can't remember what I was going to do. I went off, whatever. Like I said, I've got that Friday brain now. It's been a long week. So I'm I'm ready to just shut down and chill. Alan Perez is here. We love Alan. How are you doing? Any confirmation before we pull back on gold? Guys, seriously, if you're here to ask for a trade idea or waiting for a pull, but whatever it may be, you're not going to get it from me. I'm completely clocked out. I'm not trading. I'm not doing anything. And we just had news, and we do have more news coming in about an hour. Wait, hold on. Yeah, an hour. We've got manufacturing PMI coming. So even if you do find a trade now, you've still got a 1 hour window where, it's likely not really going to do anything. Then we've got news that could whip you out. It could work in your favor, but are you going to take that risk? It's your choice. Ali, you put months of work into this level. Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, it seems like a bit of a random level to have marked up, but I cannot argue the candle is red. 11R, this was refreshing. Let's see next news. Hope you guys are doing great. Jacob, well done. Congratulations on your 11R. I hope you're doing well as well. We don't use maths here. No, we're generally on this channel. It's a lot of discretional stuff. I think Chris Pulver uses maths. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really know. A lot of what he says goes over my head. I'm not smart enough for his style of trading, but yeah, a lot of it is just discretional. We don't do quant things around here. What's the probability of gold going back to 3,400 today? I just tried to telepathically tap into the market. I don't know. It says, I don't know. So I don't know. Didn't work actually, really. So unfortunately, I can't really give you a probability. Oh, it's 300 days worth of data. Okay. Put my life savings on that level. Well, I hope you took profits because it looks like we're coming up to retest. You could do the same again. You could put another life savings back on. Hope for another rejection here. Okay, right. Let's have a look at some markets. Let's see. Pound dollar. Oh, interesting. Oh, let me go back. Let's go to the H4. So, yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about this. I had a sell limit here. When did I have it? I think it was Monday or Friday last week. I can't remember. I had a sell limit here, expecting this lower high to just come a bit higher. It didn't happen, so I missed entry and I missed this whole move. But the reason I'm not too bothered is because I'm still relying on the dollar to come down towards 98. If it does do that, then I would quite happily look to go short pound dollar. So I'm still optimistic, but slightly annoyed. Aussie yen's down, dollar yen is down. This isn't my position. This is actually, I'll show you. So, and then, well, actually, this is a good case for why you don't put institutions on a pedestal. Excuse me, just bear with me. Let me find the report. I can't remember where it is. Is it this? Nah. Where is it? Here. So this is from Nomura Research. Hold on, it's gone small. That's what she said. So they had this. This is their stop loss and entry on dollar yen. That's why it's marked up. They sent this report out and said they've raised conviction on dollar yen. So it was a 3 out of 5 trade. They raised it to a 4 out of 5 trade. It doesn't look like a 4 out of 5 trade to me. Of course, I'm being very, very critical, but it does make me laugh that, you know, these institutions have incredible analysis. Like the research and the analysis you get from a lot of these reports and things is second to none. It's amazing. But then you'll look at some of the trades they take. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, I was considering it, but even I was like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, why would you want to short dollar right now? Even the Edge Finder was very bullish on the dollar. Why would an institution be going short? Surely they should be able to see it even more clearly, but I guess not. Hey James, swing trade sell setup formed Aussie US dollar, New Zealand US dollar. Can you check the Edge Finder? Of course I can. You think Ali is him? Yeah, maybe so. So Aussie US dollar is very bearish of 10. So that makes sense from what you said. And New Zealand US dollar is bearish with a score of 7. So Sahil, I think you're on the right track, my friend. It sounds good. Which institution? I'll talk about all of them. I can give you another example. So I'll show you this. Just again, bear with me. Let me just find it for you. So I'm looking for Credit Agricole. Is it this one? That's not the one I want. Sorry, guys, just bear with me. I think this is quite interesting, but I didn't prepare for it, so I don't have it on hand right now. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. So this is Credit Agricole. They are very, very good at research. So you can see here, number 3 for G10FX forecast accuracy in Q2 2025. So you would assume that they are doing numbers, like, you know, they will institutions that rank number 3 for forecast and accuracy. They must be doing well. I'm not saying they're doing bad, but from I'll elaborate shortly. So when it comes to euro pound, they rank number 3. When it comes to pound dollar, they are. Oh, sorry. Wait, hold on. It's dollars. That's pound dollar. Why does it say dollar NOK? Anyway, pound dollar, then number one. I'm confused how they've laid this out, but either way, they are the top dogs when it comes to analysis, really. So they put all this stuff out, very, very good research. But then we look at their trade history. Where is the P&L? Is it here? Yeah, so total return year to date. So this year, they've done 4.5%, which again, they've made, I'm not saying is bad, but this is why I don't really care for what an institution is doing. Again, I'll take their analysis quite seriously because it is generally very, very good, but their execution doesn't seem to be the best. And obviously they have compliance, they have clients, they have portfolio managers, they've got a lot of things that they have to trade around. So of course it's not the same situation that we are in as retail, but this is what I mean when you're talking about liquidity sweeps. It's the smart money, the big institutions are after our stops. They don't really have the capability to pull something like that off, I'll be honest. Because you could look at, like 2008 changed a lot in the financial industry. The regulations and the eyes on what these big dogs were doing increased massively. And it's a heavily regulated industry. It's not like, you know, JP Morgan could just sink the dollar because they felt like it, you know? Of course, that's an extreme example, but it is a heavily regulated industry. They can't just do whatever they please whenever they please. 100 million would cause a 3-pip volatility. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a ramble. So ramble is over now. We'll get back to the markets. I have a question for you. When we develop a strategy, how many years of data should we backtest and how much trade data should we collect? Sahil, I would say general rule of thumb is you want at least 5 years of data, and you would also want at least 500 trades. Ideally more trades, but 500 is kind of like a baseline. And the reason is because it gives you a grasp of different market conditions, different market cycles. So, you know, risk on, risk off, high VIX, low VIX, different presidents, different economic landscapes, geopolitical landscapes. You've got a wide variety there within sort of the last 5 years. You've got Russia, Ukraine, Middle East, all sorts of stuff going on. And also, obviously, you want to have a lot of trades during those periods to then say, okay, well, it wasn't just one lucky trade where I bought gold because of this. It was actually the strategy has substance and consistency. Tony Stark, how's the cat today? He's good. He's sleeping downstairs. Unfortunately, the quant is not here to say hello. How to grow my account from 500? Deposit more. 500, you will do nothing. I'm very sorry. I know it's not what you want to hear. $500 is not even close to being able to really do anything. So for example, depending on what broker you're with, but with the broker I'm with, $500 won't even allow me to place a trade on the DAX without using crazy leverage anyway. So I would really just say deposit, gain slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% months consistently, never withdraw. When I say never, obviously, you know, 50 years down the line, sure, but in the, you know, realistic near future, don't withdraw, just deposit and compound. It's the only way. There is unfortunately no cheat code. You can't click left, right, up, down, square, backspace and get an infinite amount of trading capital, sadly. Guide me what to do. I'm now down 5% on funded account. Go full margin. You either blow it or fix it. You get even or get even worse is what the gamblers call it. And I love that saying. You can do it 500, but prioritize growing. Yes, exactly. Should be using prop firms. Yeah, I suppose you could make the prop firm argument as well, but that is assuming that you can stick to the rules, which many traders can't. And obviously, that's not throwing shade to anyone. I struggle to stick to prop firm rules, and many professional traders do because it's very strict. You know, 4% daily drawdown can be done, of course it can be, but consistently, maybe not. J Trades, I'm glad you like my financial advice of get worse or get even or get even worse. I actually tested 10 years of data and 700 trades, volume or less because I'm a swing trader. Good stuff, Sahil. If that's the case, you should be set to go as long as the strategy works. I take 40 trades a month. Is that enough statistically to know my strategy is profitable? It depends how many months, Babu. So if you take 40 trades in 1 month, maybe not, because that's one market condition. So let me explain what I mean by that. Let's just take gold. So for example, if our gold's maybe not the best example, but in 1 month, generally, you're not going to see a huge shift in market behavior. So if you had a range trading strategy is sell high, buy low, which is just selling these levels, sure, your strategy might have made money this time. But then what if you get into the next month and actually we start trending again like this? You're going to end up selling here, expecting the same market behavior that you saw on the previous month. So you could have 1,000 trades in a month. And I don't think it would be enough because you need that time period as well. Consistency rules are crazy. I hate that rule. I don't trade props these days. I've never actually traded a prop, but I would never buy one going forwards because of the consistency rule. Or I would never buy one with a consistency rule is a better way of saying it, because I think prop firms are really taking advantage of struggling traders. I think there are good ones. Obviously, FTMO is established. They've been around for years, so they're not in this circle. But I'm speaking very generally. I think it's a very predatory business model, which a very, very, very small amount of people can actually make work. So I think off the top of my head, I think the stat is something like 0.4% of traders pass phase 1, 2, and also get the payout, which is extremely small. And again, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying you can't be part of that 0.4, but I'm just saying, obviously, the masses of people that do buy props are not going to be able to make anything from it. Ethereum to the moon. Ethereum to the moon. Okay, right. Okay. We've still got an hour. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm going to be around for manufacturing. It's just me today. And I do like you guys, but not enough to stay for another 50 minutes. You guys aren't that cool. I've got my cat to chill with, and I've got a cake to bake. 10 years of data. I never saw 5 trades losing streak, but in this year, I'm 6 trades losing streak. Is that normal? No, that's not. Well, maybe you would have to allow some variance in your strategy. So let's say over, how long did you say? 10 years. So if your worst losing streak in this 10 years is, let's say it's 4. You said never 5. So let's say it's 4. And you end up on a 6 losing streak this year. That doesn't mean your strategy is broken, in my view. This just means, okay, something isn't the same. What is it? Keep an eye on that. So whether it be the tariffs, whether it be different trends, or whatever it may be, it could be a massive variation of things. So I would just keep an eye on this. It doesn't mean change it. It just means be more vigilant, pay more attention, and then maybe after this week or after this month, depending on what your time horizons are, go back and look at these losing trades and say, okay, maybe I was distracted, maybe it was this, maybe it was that, or you should be able to say it was this, my strategy isn't built for this market condition, or I was just distracted. Again, it could be a range of things, but just because you're on a slightly larger losing streak than your data says, doesn't mean it's broken. It just means peel those eyes open a little bit more. Thanks, James, for your effort. Marcus, no problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to shill you the Edge Finder. If you want to get the Edge Finder, you can use code ELITE. It does help me out. I'll be honest, I do get a bit of kickback when you buy it. So that is a bit of an incentive for me. But other than that, I'm just here to say hello and give you my thoughts. Siobhan, of course I remember you. I've not seen you in a while, though. Where have you been? I do not appreciate your lack of consistency on my channel, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll do, Jacob. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Sarah, not looking to do anything yet, my friend. We are just chilling. We're just chatting. Although Ali, what is going on here? I thought you were Jim Simmons. Jim Simmons wouldn't do this. Sahil, yeah, no problem. Oh, have I missed a message from Shawls? What's Shawls saying? Anybody here do better on live account than prop firm? Yeah, I think it's because prop firms put pressure. So what I've seen is there's a couple of different reasons that you end up losing prop firms. For me, it's a mixture of a couple of things. You know, first, I get a bit bored because I could be sat there for 1-2 months just trading at what is essentially a demo account with no guarantee of a return at the end of it. So I do get very bored. There's also the fact that there is the time aspect of I've got 200. I've got 200K. I could be making 2,000 a month just on 1%, and that rush of, oh my god, I could be making so much money. They will try so hard to pass so quick, and obviously that never works, or very rarely works out. Whereas on a personal account, obviously, you know, you built that capital yourself. It's your own money, so you've got inherently a lot more respect for it. You miss munching on shoe glue. That's interesting. Maybe don't do that. I think that might harm your brain cells just slightly. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a great idea. I'm not even sure I know what shoe glue is, but I don't like the sound of it. Okay, so dollar still on its move to the downside. Dollar cross is still to the upside. So far, we are down 1.18, 1.17, 1.18% on the dollar today, on the back of a poor NFP revision, and slightly higher unemployment at 4.2. Not really an increase, but it's still elevated from the sort of range that it's in at 4.1 to 4.2. Someone needs to get Bashi to do one of these psychology lessons. Every 1 to 2 times I see him is offering psychological help. I'm not even sure if that's legal, but he seems desperate to help someone. I respect it. Can I share my strategy data, James, so you can look and tell me what you think about it? Yeah, you can, if you can figure out how. I'm not sure how you would send it to me. Okay, so just trying to think, is there anything going on? I'm a little bit annoyed, actually. Sorry, I'm not a little bit annoyed. I'm not sure why I said that. But I think I was thinking of pound dollar. I think it's in my mind subconsciously. Yeah, so NASDAQ, I'm still looking to buy here from the previous all-time highs. I think we are currently in a nice area, or a nice situation, where price could continue to run down into these previous all-time highs. We retest, and then we continue higher. So I'm looking to buy the NASDAQ at around 22,200 in that sort of range. That's the plan. I think this is probably one of the most clear trades so far. It is a bullish reading on the edge finder as well. US 30, sort of a similar idea, but slightly different. So I think US 30 does have a bit of catching up to do. If you look at NASDAQ, if you look at the S&P, they've all fully recovered from that the tariff crash, and they've all exceeded and broken into new all-time highs except the Dow. So I do view the Dow as sort of a little catch-up trade. So I'd love to get long at these previous highs, and this again would be a sort of a break and retest. Stop loss just at these lows below this 200 moving average, and then a take profit. You could really even not have a take profit. You could just trail stops and basically just take the trade and nick approach, where you just let it run, trail stops underneath the higher lows. I think that would be quite nice. Integrated. I don't really have a set target or a set entry. I would really like it to come down towards 98, so 98 on the dot, really. But yeah, I'm quite happy at the minute. I'm not really placing any swing trades, to be honest. I've been more focused on some short-term positioning. Can we consider this move a pullback? Before I saw the revision, I would have said yes, but a lot of my theory on why the Fed wouldn't cut rates in September has kind of been knocked out now, because the labor market isn't as great as what I thought it was. We had a weaker NFP this month. We had a revision down for last month. Unemployment's at 4.2, which isn't bad, but it is at the higher end of what it sort of has been recently. Jolts came down. So yes, I will be looking to buy the dollar at around 98, but even then it's not going to be a super strong trade idea. I don't think. It'll be more just a case of me trying to buy the bottom. If it doesn't work, fine. If it does work, amazing. But I'm not, my confidence in that idea has been shaken slightly. Yeah, you know what? Wait, hold on, I missed your name. Makonnen? I would agree. I think price action has been very good, but it depends what strategy you trade. For my swing strategy, it's been awful because it's been so choppy, or not choppy, that's not the right word. So uncertain is the right word. However, short-term time frames, so like breakout strategies, have done very, very well. Okay, right. Let's just do a final checkup. Is there any questions or any chart requests? If not, I'm going to start wrapping up because we're kind of done now. Like I said, we do have manufacturing, but I on serious note, can't stay for manufacturing. I've got a couple of bits I need to take care of today, and then I'm going to bake a cake. So if there is, like I said, any questions, any requests, please get them out now, or forever hold your peace until Monday. S&P 500. Do you think you'll bullish on gold next week? Yeah, I think maybe. Yes, I think this might be the catalyst for gold buyers to step back in. Show cat. I can't show you the cat because he's sleeping downstairs, but I can show you a picture. Let me pull a picture of my quant. Just bear with me. Let me find one. There you go. Wait. There you go. Oh, he's so ugly. Bless him. Love him to bits. Okay, so yes, gold bullish next week. Very, very likely. I would be looking to be a buyer on gold now. It would be a nice little hedge for a dollar long idea as well. So S&P, pretty similar to what I already said on NASDAQ. I'd be looking to get a retest of these all-time highs. So it'll be something like this, and then continuation back to the upside. Or if we break lower, then it'd be here, and again, back to the upside, relying on this 200 moving average to act as a dynamic support. So very, very simple. And that same idea relays across pretty much all of the US indices, specifically NASDAQ, Dow, and US 500, or the S&P. I don't trade Russell, so I will leave Russell to you. I feel like there's another one. Did I miss it? No. Okay. From FX James to James the Baker. Yeah. Well, when I say I'm baking, it's more I'm going to be stood there, doing some whisking, and that's probably about it. Well, my girlfriend does the majority of it, but it's team effort. It takes a village to bake a cake. At the end of the day, that's the saying, I think. Yeah, he is perfect. Although he's got a big attitude. He's not friendly sometimes, but that's okay. We all have our moods. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up for today. I appreciate everyone being here. And enjoy your Fridays. I know it's been shorter, and I know your favorite guy, Nick, hasn't been here, so I do apologize, but hopefully I made up for it slightly. So guys, have a great one. Enjoy your weekends. Please don't gamble news. The markets are going to be a bit messy for the rest of the day. Just chill, breathe, and call it an early week if you must. See you later.
Thanks for watching today's show. Remember to subscribe if you're new and to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. If you're looking for more free trading content, consider joining our Telegram channel, linked in the description down below, or find free courses, prop firm discounts, and broker sign-up perks on our website a1trading.com. That's all for today. We'll see you back tomorrow.